French President François Hollande is urging freedom of the press in Turkey after the government takeover of Turkey's largest circulation newspaper, Zaman. Hollande addressed his concerns before entering a meeting with the Turkish Prime Minister, and that's what you heard there via translator. My guest now, Lars Hedegaard, was educated as a historian and has written textbooks on world history, but became a journalist and was the chief editor of the Copenhagen Daily Information. He's also authored several books. He's the founder of the Danish Free Press Society and its president for the first 10 years until 2014. And he largely concentrated on Islamic studies over the past 15 years, which is apparently the reason a young Muslim tried to assassinate him 3 years ago. He is now living underground with 24/7 police protection. Welcome to the program, Lars.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to speak with you. I understand that you just got the results of a trial, but before we go into the results, would you set up for my audience what the trial was about?
Well, the trial was about a gag order handed down by the court in Copenhagen, not to mention the name of my would-be assassin, which is a funny thing because that name has been out in the Turkish press for a very long time, even before I mentioned it. And the police even has said that it has nothing against revealing his name. Still, they maintained this gag order, and I was then convicted, fined on the 4th of March for having mentioned it. I did that a month and a half after I heard from the Danish police that this man had been released from prison in Turkey and that nobody knows where he is. He is most probably now with the Islamic State in Syria, where he's, of course, behaving like all the rest of those people. After my conviction, about 10 other people in Denmark, including my publisher and a reviewer in one of the Copenhagen dailies, a radio station, and others, are waiting in line to be convicted.
Oh, so they will be prosecuted as well because you've mentioned this man's name, the man who tried to kill you.
Yes.
What was what precipitated the gag order?
I don't know. I don't know what precipitated the gag order. I mean, I can understand that if a person is in police custody awaiting trial, then I can understand that there's a gag order on his name because he can expect a fair trial and he should not be convicted before appearing in front of a judge. But I mean, we're talking about a man who is an escapee from Danish justice and has been so for 3 years. I don't know what the point is. I can only come to the conclusion that Danes are not permitted to even mention his name because he's a Muslim. And because it would give Muslims a bad name if this was circulated. The funny thing, of course, is that everyone knows his name. There's not a man or woman in Denmark who doesn't know the name of my would-be assassin. So I think the point is to demonstrate who has power in Denmark, who has the power to oppress, silence those who do not toe the line.
I just had Pamela Geller on the program, and she lost in court, but she was trying to get basically it was an advertisement that she was paying to have in Seattle with the faces and names of FBI wanted people, but I think all but one of them was Muslim, and it's been suppressed. We're not allowed to name our enemy.
Nope. No, and, strangely, this man is now being pursued internationally through Interpol and other police agencies. How can they apprehend a man whose name is supposed to be secret?
It makes... You're not allowed... Who is it that you're looking for? I can't tell you that. But he's
right.
5'7" and he's got dark hair.
Yes, but I mean,
it's
even
ridiculous.
His picture is known, and you can look it up on the internet.
Have they suppressed his picture?
There's also a gag order against showing his picture.
They've suppressed his picture as well.
Yeah.
And this is a man who tried. Can I ask you how he was foiled in his attempt on your life?
Well, he came to my front door in the Copenhagen neighborhood of Frederiksberg on the 5th of February, 2013, dressed as a mailman, or I don't know if you call him postman here. He had a red jacket, as a mailmen have, and he buzzed my door and said he had a package for me. I went down and opened the door, and he handed me a package that turned out to be completely empty. When the police got hold of it, immediately he pulled out a gun and shot at my head at close range. Amazingly, he missed. The bullet went right past my right ear, which is a good thing because I am deaf on my right ear, so it didn't really faze me that much. He then tried to reload or recock the gun, and we engaged in a fist fight. It went on for a while, and after some exchanges of fists, he ran away, got hold of the gun, and we haven't seen him since.
Wow. So were there other people there? You said the police got hold of the package. So they weren't there at the time. You turned the
Yes, of course.
You turned the package. Right.
Yeah,
you turned the package over to the police afterwards.
Immediately, of course, and they came with in great force and combed the entire area, and of course they got the package and opened it, and I understand they also got his DNA and fingerprints, and they have been absolutely certain that they have their man. So it's not a question of somebody who is presumably innocent, because the police is absolutely certain that they know his identity.
And why would ISIS want him? He's obviously a complete nincompoop. He shot you at close range and he missed.
Yeah. Yeah, but I can only assume that he was chosen for the job, most probably by ISIS, Islamic State,
right,
or perhaps the Muslim Brotherhood or some other outfit. He was chosen to do the job because he did not have a criminal record in Denmark. And so this probably also means that he was insufficiently trained as a gunman.
Right.
He should, of course, not have shot at my head, but he should have shot at my breast, in which case I would have been dead. Because you know, if you think about it, it's a small piece of your body, your head. So you don't pull it printed that way.
Yeah, training goes for the body shots. That's true. I'm sure you're grateful that he was such an idiot. But then again, you live now with 24/7 police protection, and it's adds insult to injury that the court just found against you. You face a fine for this, for mentioning his name,
and of course court costs.
Is he allowed to mention your name? I'm being facetious.
No gag on my name.
Right.
Anyone
Where
can
can
mention
people?
My name. Anyone can show my picture, and that's been the case all along.
You obviously fear further attempts on your life at this point.
That's what I have to expect, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they wanted me dead, and of course they still want me dead because I have not shut up in the meantime. I'm still writing my opinion and communicating freely on Facebook, and I make speeches. I just wrote a book that came out last year, which of course is also one of the reasons I was fined, because I mentioned the name in the book.
And the publisher now, and other people that are involved with the book.
And the publisher is now up for a trial. Yes.
So So where do you go from here? Obviously, you need to work to change the laws in Denmark because this is absurd, and we're experiencing similar things over here. I would add, it's not. There's a movement afoot to simply quash any sense of disagreement with the force of Islam, I would say.
Yeah. Yes, we have the same thing, and the effort is being led by the European Union, which has put out one order after another to prosecute people who dare criticize Islam. What they say is it's forbidden to criticize religions, but I mean anyone can criticize Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, etc. It's a law. It's an effort to prevent people from saying bad things about the Prophet and his henchmen. And that's been going on now for 8 years. The good thing, of course, is that more and more Europeans, at least more and more Danes, are refusing to accept this state of affairs, and I get lots of support from my compatriots and also abroad. So I will simply continue the work I've been doing for the past 15 years, and I will not be silenced.
What's the name of your book?
It's called The Assassination Attempt. It's in Danish, attentat, which I think is a derivation from French, attentat, an attempt on one's life.
Right.
It's in Danish, of course.
The assassination attempt, but it's in Danish, so yeah. I could read it because I speak Swedish, but I don't know so much about my audience.
If you will send me your postal address, I'll see to it that you get a copy.
That would be lovely. Tack så mycket.
Yeah.
It's lovely speaking with you. My heart goes out to you. I can't imagine being in your position, and I do so appreciate. We went through a bit of a rigmarole to get Lars to join us on the show today. So I very much appreciate you taking your time and joining me on the Sam Sorbo Show. I'll be right back.